This is a test of the MX Brio in preparation for deployment, possibly, to the Berlin offices. The MX Brio was released in 2024. You're currently looking at its base install configuration. No driver has been installed. This is running Mac OS Ventura on an M3 MacBook Pro. Again, base install, just plug and play. No driver installed. This is the, let me get color, there we go. Color comparison chart. The Macbeth chart here will give us a reading of the rendition of colors in the base install mode. This may be improved upon by drivers. We'll have to have a look at the driver settings at a future date and time. You are hearing the audio from the MX Brio itself. Let me switch over to my standard camera and I'll let you hear the audio from that. So this is my standard camera, which is actually a Sony a6500 through a HDMI capture card. And I'm utilizing a Shure SM7B microphone through a small mixer. Let's return now to this is again the MX Brio. For comparison, the audio is coming from the MX Brio, as is the video and its base install. Let's have a look at a few different lighting scenarios. So right now you're seeing the prescribed light, if you will, what I typically use, which is a softbox, a small softbox. Let's have a look at turning the lights off in a poor lighting condition to how the MX Brio responds. So this is auto exposure, autofocus in a poor lighting condition. Considering the light level in here and the fact that a lot of it is side light here that you're seeing, the rendition from the MX Brio is actually quite good. It's able to provide color amplification without a great deal of noise, even though the color is a little off, which is a bit disturbing. My blue shirt is not this blue. Again, that may be repaired with driver functionalities. So let me do some top-down lighting. I'll turn the room lights on so we can get some top-down lighting and see what that looks like. Color temperature has now changed. This is tungsten, about, I'm guessing, 4,800 degrees Kelvin. No, I'm sorry, more like 3,200 degrees Kelvin. Tungsten lighting interior, and the color temperature has adjusted automatically on the MX Brio here. Let's have a look at color rendition. So that's auto exposure, auto white balance on the MX Brio with no adjustments. Top down, it's not bad. My eyes are in shadow, but that is honestly very difficult to make up for because of the reflection off my forehead, cheeks, and chin. Would have a large dynamic range for the webcam to deal with. All in all, so pretty good so far. I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording, install the driver for the Logitech MX Brio, and make a few adjustments, and we'll do another comparison. This is the Logitech MX Brio webcam. Once the driver has been installed and there have been some corrections to the white balance, auto exposure is working, but I've taken it off auto white. It was about 1000K too high. Not sure if that's a driver error or what, but everything was very blue. So brought that down, and we'll go ahead and check this out. But I'm suspecting that the colors are far more exact. To give you a reference, I'm going to go switch over to my Sony. This is the Sony A6500 plus the Shure SM7B microphone, which I use daily. That's giving you precise colors here, the blue and the tan in my shirt. So you'll notice once I switch back that the colors in my shirt are more exact. The exposure is maybe a little hot. I would tone it down just a little bit, but I'd like to leave it on the auto exposure if this were being deployed into a kiosk, because you have different people walking in that are different distances. Again, this is 90-degree angle. I'm going to go stop down and do recording at the two other angles, 78 and 65. Presently, this is the 90-degree angle, and I am 19 inches from the lens. So when we put this into a kiosk, the subject may be backed up a little bit more because we're talking about using a 35-inch monitor. So I'm guessing they'll probably be about here. So we'll look at the 78 and we'll look at the 65-inch in just a moment. This is 19 inches again from the webcam, 78-degree angle. So that's not too bad, but again, it's likely that our subject will be about here in a kiosk, which is, let's say, 28 inches away from the camera. So that puts them a bit of a different distance. Let's go ahead and change that to 65. Okay, so this is the 65-degree webcam angle on the MX Brio. Again, you're looking at 19 inches, so if I were going to use this camera at my desk, this is probably a little closer to most folks. I'm a bit imposing. But in the kiosk, again, let's go with 28 inches. 28 inches from the webcam. This is an example of 65-degree angle, so that's a little bit better view of the person speaking within a Zoom call. And it also gives you some idea of what the audio quality is like when I've stepped back to be 28 inches from the surface of the camera. Additionally, one thing of note, the camera does have a shutter, so there's a privacy shutter on it, which people can close if they feel the need to do that. It doesn't stop the webcam from working. It's a mechanical shutter. You can reopen the mechanical shutter at any time. Okay, I just wanted to add a corollary recording of the automated follow function that the MX Brio now accommodates. They call it, Logitech calls it a Right Sight. So the way this works is you zoom it all the way in, you set it to the 65-degree angle, and then engage Right Sight through the LogiTune app. Once that's set, it will stay in place, and the idea being that it will follow you. So if I step back, takes just a moment, but it will zoom into me. And if I move around, it should, there we go, accommodate. I'll move a little bit over here to my left, and it will follow me once again. And if I move back in to that 19 inches or so from the monitor, you can see that it automatically changes to a wider field of view to accommodate and keeping me in this more or less position within the frame. So it takes just a moment to engage, but that's understandable given that, you know, the algorithm has to be sure that you've settled wherever you're going before engaging movement. And the movement's fairly smooth, given that it is just a cropped sensor repositioning that the algorithm is doing within it. Thank you.